so that you get the whole idea, what exactly are we doing. It's a global webinar and it's making education relevant, global confluence of intellectuals. Now, how do you make the entire education ecosystem complete in itself when you have the confluence of intellectuals from the world over? And when we talk about the best practices, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, 4 days, we are purely on youth empowerment strategies. Friday, we talk about water management, wherever the water wastage is, how that is to be uh, regulated, plugged. At the same time, what should be the water management strategies? And this is being led by our advisor, senior advisor from Singapore. Then Saturday, we take you all the way to Chicago, where on 11th of September 1893, Swami Vivekananda ji delivered the historic the speech, which still rocks the world over, sisters and brothers of the universe. So that is every Saturday. What is Swami Vivekananda's teachings and what is the relevance in today's education system? Then Saturday, we have got second program that's on Ayurveda, on global wellness, yoga, meditation, naturopathy, nutrition, organic. And yesterday we had a wonderful session, and thereafter 5 more sessions from the same speaker has emerged. It was rocking from the world over. So many suggestions have come. And then Sunday morning, every Sunday morning, we take you to all the way Hollywood, where the Universal Studios gate open, and right in front you have got the Woodbury University, Burbank, California, Los Angeles, and Professor Satendra Diman talks to us what is the relevance of Srimad Bhagavad Gita's teachings and India's 10 main principle Upanishad with regard to today's education, today's teachers, today's youth. What exactly is the relevance that we have got every Sunday morning at 9:30? And just before this program, 15 minutes back, I finished with the program. That is India ASEAN series, where you get almost 10 countries, 650 million population. What a wonderful chronology and the development which is taking place over there. And then, of course, Sunday evening, because there should be a purpose of education. Why to take education? Why to go to school? Why to go to college? Why to go to university? Why to acquire a particular skill? Why to take a particular subject? So when we talk about it, whether startup or entrepreneur or stand-up or make in India or whatsoever you want to talk about, micro, small, and medium enterprise, when we are talking about, ladies and gentlemen, globally, this is the largest segment which takes care of it. That's why we all are together in this journey. So you should also, today we have got a special session after this program. Once this gets over, after a little break at 7:30 p.m. in the evening today, you're having NRIs, Indian diaspora coming from the world over. There's an international webinar, Making Education Relevant, and that is going to be on the New Education Policy 2020, Building Global Excellence in Indian Education. And people from United States, from United Arab Emirates, and the president of Haryana Commerce and Management Association, they all will be with us in that particular journey. So, ladies and gentlemen, whatsoever human mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve. Education has got a definite purpose. I have already discussed with all of us. So let's move on. Ravindra Nath ji, when he laid down the arms in 2018 September, I had been requesting him right from that time. He is a visionary. He is very creative. He's very dynamic. He is very vibrant. He's very energetic. And all the times I told him, whatever experience and whatever expertise and whatever you're carrying from the government of India while being with the Ministry of Micro, Small and the Medium Enterprise, kindly bring to the chamber, kindly bring to the forum. And he had been very kind to accept our request and give his consent. But it has taken a long time because he had to complete certain, areas to be taken care of before giving his patronage to our chamber. We are so grateful to him. We are so thankful to him. It's his kind gesture. He accepted to chair this particular session and to take the vision forward because he was formerly CMD of the NSIC, and he got various awards. All is listed over here. And at the same time, ladies and gentlemen, he took the vision not only in India, but abroad in different continents, different countries, different time zones. So that's what I wish to share with all of you, because it is the generosity of the Ravindra Nath ji. We have got the kind courtesy this evening, Miss Engineer PanneerSelvam Ramaswamy ji, the Principal Director, MSME Technology Development Center, Agra. Agra is in Uttar Pradesh. That is for the, because all over world people know Agra, beautiful place, nice place, and lot to be shared. Now, our Ramaswamy ji, he's a mechanical engineer, and he has over 30 years of service with the Ministry of MSME, and he's credited with the turnaround performance in all spheres of activities of the MSME Technology Development Center, Agra, right from its imminent closure to one of the best performing autonomous body under Ministry of MSME, Government of India. Presently, he has been entrusted with the additional responsibility as a general manager Indo-German tool role that is IGTR Technology Center Indore of the development as a development commissioner, MSME, Ministry of MSME. And Ramaswamy ji has contributed immensely to research activities in the field of foundries and tool rooms and glass. His areas of interest are entrepreneurship guidance and counseling, promotion of micro and small enterprise, product opportunity guidance, and also procedural guidance to new entrepreneurs. He has also done extensive studies on entrepreneurship promotion and has prepared a series of guidebooks for new entrepreneurs. Visited Durham Business School, UK, and undergone training program for women empowerment as well. We extend him a very hearty welcome. So, ladies and gentlemen, join me in welcoming both the dignitaries, Mr. Ramaswamy, and along with him, our guide philosopher, Mr. Ravindra Nath as well. We extend a very warm welcome to both of them. And I would request now Ravindra Nath to kindly take on the session further and to give his initial remarks and input. And thereafter, we will hear our today's distinguished guest. With these words, Shri Ravindra Nath.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. And hearty congratulations on having completed almost 260 programs. And each program of yours, I find it has a lot of commitment and a lot of passion of yours, which is blended into it. And the wide spectrum of programs which you conduct, it gives a whole meaning to an individual's life. And as they say, the best comes on a Sunday, where our most learned, most erudite philosopher, Mr. Diman, comes in with the best thoughts which he can collect for all of us across the world from our Bhagavad Gita. Dr. Sharma, let me also take this opportunity to welcome my co-panelist, Mr. PanneerSelvam. And Mr. PanneerSelvam is a distinguished performer, I must say, in the government organization under the Ministry of MSME. And he has achieved various distinguishments, various distinct positions, various awards, and his entire, what you call, performances have been widely recognized. And it is truly a pleasure, sir, to have you with me as a co-panelist, where you have agreed to share your time and also your valuable thoughts on the immense and the most important role being played by the tool rooms, which are so now being called the technology centers. I also take this opportunity to welcome all the participants from all over the world. And I would definitely make it a point to mention to them that today's session, when we have Mr. PanneerSelvam to talk about technology as a concept and tool rooms as I would say, as an instrument to strengthen the MSME sector in our country even further. When you would hear Mr. PanneerSelvam, you will understand, you will appreciate as to how important the role these tool rooms are going to play. So with your permission, Dr. Sharma, I would be commencing my address, and also I'll give a brief perspective, Mr. PanneerSelvam, as to what the sector requires and why suddenly our tool rooms have become so very important in the days of present times. We all know that Indian MSMEs, the micro, small, and medium enterprises, as we call them, with the new definition, definitely things are going to be calculated as to which segment do they fall in. But with whatever they are and whatever they have been over these years, they have been called the growth engine of India's economy, because they contribute in a very significant way to the growth of the Indian economy. And if I may just recollect a few significant facts about the Indian MSMEs, in numbers, as per the last census, they are 633.88 lakh units, of which 630.52 lakh are micro units. That makes it all the more important because this constituent requires the biggest support. Further, if we look at the geographical dispensation of these, 51% are in the rural areas and 49% in the urban areas. They also contribute very significantly to the employment in our country. And second to agriculture, they have given employment so far as per the last census to 11.09 crore people, of which almost 5 crores are in rural areas and the remaining in urban areas. But again, when we look at the numbers who have been given employment, it's again the micro enterprises who have given employment to almost 97% of the people who have been given employment under the MSME sector. But when you look at the size of the MSMEs, when I say out of 633 lakh, almost 630 lakh are micro. This brings out the fact that micro firms or micro enterprises have over time failed to grow into small or medium enterprises. Also, they have been kept bereft of enjoying the economies of scale, enjoying the investments into their fixed assets, and also adoption of technology and innovation. While these are the gray areas which our MSME sector has, but a die-hard optimist in me always believes that we suddenly and we definitely have some strengths of our sector. And when we look at 48% of the country's exports coming from the MSME sector, it definitely shows that the Indian MSMEs are becoming globally competitive, and their products and services are being accepted even overseas. This paints a positive landscape, exhibiting the capabilities of Indian entrepreneurs to innovate and create products that address the specific needs of not only the people within the country, but also those who are overseas, the overseas buyers. And we also understand, we also acknowledge that Indian MSMEs have moved up the value chain from manufacture of the simple products to the manufacture of the most sophisticated products. And I say this from my personal experience because when in my last year I traveled to Russia, I traveled to Vietnam and Morocco and certain other countries, people were very eager to join hands with the Indian MSMEs, and in sectors like defense, automobile, textiles, pharmaceuticals, and the like. And this definitely gave me the confidence that the Indian MSME sector has moved up the value chain. But still, with all these, we find that there are certain challenges, certain problems which these MSME units are facing. And if I may just mention, because all these are definitely which we cannot ignore, the problems or the challenges which are being faced are suboptimal scale of operations, technological obsolescence, supply chain inefficiencies, increasing domestic and global competition, credit or funds as a shortage, change in the manufacturing strategies which have to be addressed, and the turbulent and uncertain market scenario. The things are evolving fast, and we need to empower our MSMEs if we have to say that they need to be brought up. So what do we need to do? What do our MSMEs need to do? What comes to my mind is they need to adopt innovative approaches in their working. And these innovations and these innovative approaches could be in business processes, in product service development, in technology, and handling external environment to compete with the large enterprises globally. I would concentrate on technology because technology has always been and increasingly been a business enabler. It is a vital tool for bringing in process efficiencies and higher degree of standardization. MSMEs must develop a competitive advantage, and for that, they need a strong focus to implement new age technologies, to develop indigenous technologies, and as well to have technology collaborations with global partners in order to play a crucial role. But then, side by side, when we look at the number of the micro enterprises, the challenge is where comes the funds? But then things are evolving, things are improving. We all understand that businesses are becoming more and more agile, and technologies such as social media, mobility, analytics, and cloud computing, all these jointly known as SMAC, social media, mobility, analytics, and cloud computing, are coming together to unleash great value and opportunity for the MSMEs. It's emerging as a key business enabler over the years. And with these new technologies, perceptible results for small businesses are visible in areas like product innovation, automation of back office tasks, to gain customer insights, to enable MSMEs to make sound decisions and increase efficiency, to deliver tailor-made customer experiences, and also in times of GST when compliances have all to be made quick and fast, digital accounting to ease accounting operations. The phase of new technology not only makes the work easier, but also increases employment opportunities in this sector. 1.3 million people getting added to the workforce, and so many educated graduates coming out, and even postgraduates. Things like this, the new technologies are always evolving to give opportunities and in order to address the challenges being faced by the Indian MSMEs. But concerted and continued efforts are needed to apprise MSMEs of new developments and technologies, because 94 or 95% are sole proprietorships. They're all the one-man armies which are being fighting in these times. And if we need to bring them up, concerted and continued efforts are needed to apprise MSMEs of new development and technologies, and also how they can be usefully employed by them, keeping in view the local conditions, the language and mode which locals can understand and assimilate. See, we have to make it in such a manner that they are easily absorbed, easily taken on board and adopted. It is here that we need the IITs, the ITIs, the academics, the process and product development centers, the tool rooms and the training centers, and similar other bodies who need to encourage the Indian MSMEs in order to associate and involve them actively with MSME clusters, to understand and appreciate their technology-related problems and issues, and also to undertake projects addressing the specific problems which are being faced. If we give them a solution, any MSME will be easily adapting to them and adopting them also. Dr. Gulshan Sharma was talking about the new education policy. So that is where the students are going to be part of these projects, and we need to encourage them to associate with the local units, with these local ITIs and the tool rooms where they can understand and translate them for the Indian MSMEs to adopt them. Local institutions and academics can help set up cluster-specific incubation centers to provide guidance in terms of technology implementation, development, and scaling up. All very, very relevant for the Indian MSMEs today. We must appreciate that for any MSME now, the digital revolution is no more a dream which only the large enterprises could think of. The Indian micro, small, and medium enterprises are all going to be a part of that. And it is the infiltration of the new age technologies into the MSME sector that the technology evolution and startups are becoming a part of it. The entire ecosystem is evolving at an overwhelming pace. And when things begin to happen in such a manner, the government doesn't stay behind. And that is where things are beginning to happen for and with MSMEs from the government side too, as the government is pushing it forward with a number of plans to foster technology, innovation, and quality in MSMEs. I may just mention that the government's National Manufacturing Competitive Program, there are various schemes which are there. And one of some of the very crucial schemes, I'll just touch base on them because I would be leaving it for Mr. PanneerSelvam ji to talking in more details on them because it is his topic and he has been dealing with it day in and day out and helping so many MSMEs across the country with them. The zero effect and zero defect manufacturing, or the Z based functioning, which enables the MSMEs with its twin objectives to promote adaptation of quality tools, systems, and energy efficient manufacturing, to encourage MSMEs to constantly upgrade their quality standards in products and processes, and to drive manufacturing and adaptation of zero defect production processes. The Lean Manufacturing Competitiveness Scheme, which has been so engaged by the units who don't have time and resources to dedicate for a strategic understanding of the need and acquiring the means for various techniques. This lean manufacturing enables to enhance the productivity and competitiveness and reduction in wastages. The design clinic scheme, which enables a specialist advice by experienced designers for new product development as well as enhancing existing product portfolio. The technology upgradation scheme, which focuses on upgrading technology for increasing competitiveness in marketing. And the other technology and quality upgradation scheme, which is more of cluster based and is for adopting energy efficient processes. It also brings me to the most important part, where the government is really bringing in a lot of its investments also, which is the tooling and the training centers. I was reading a report, Mr. PanneerSelvam, that on the 19th of October 2020, Mr. Sudhir Garg, a Joint Secretary in the Ministry of MSME, while speaking at CII Kerala's MSME Finance Facilitation Drive, which was over a period of 4 to 5 days from 19th to 24th of October, he has announced that in order to help micro, small, and medium enterprises, the union government has proposed to set up 153 technology centers to address issues relating to business, HR, and modern strategies, and also the use of artificial intelligence. So today, the industry is getting scared. Today, the academia is also getting scared that what this artificial intelligence is going to play havoc, whether it is going to play havoc with our country, and whether the entire education which is being given will be done justice with. The Joint Secretary also mentioned that the government has already set up 18 such centers and 15 are ongoing. It is here that I would like to understand, and I would also like you to bring insights for our participants as to how the scheme of National Manufacturing Competitiveness Program, and especially the scheme of tool rooms, have proved useful in addressing the case of technology gaps in MSMEs, and also how the technology centers are going to be even more beneficial how the cost of acquiring the technologies will be met, whether the state governments are also associated with this, because this is going to be a game changer for the Indian MSME sector. So, with this little background of mine, I would invite you, sir, to have your address, which I'm sure would be very, very enriching, very, very enlightening. And the MSMEs would definitely, their fears would get allayed after hearing from you. Over to you, sir.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Good evening to everyone present here. Dr. Gulshan Sir and Ravindra Nath Sir, and all others from across the world who are watching this program. So first of all, I like to thank Ravindra Nath Sir for giving me an opportunity. It is a good opportunity. Most of the things I think he has covered, because he was part of a ministry for a quite long time. He is headed one of the very important mini Ratna institutions, national small industries corporations. So he had opportunity to move around with all ministry people, and he knows in and out of the MSME ministry. So most of the things he has covered, he has just made my job very easy. Maybe I can just put it only in the prospects of MSME Technology Center, and whatever I look forward, whatever the question and answers that you look for. So with this, I once again thank ICSI and also Ravindra Nath for inviting me for this wonderful webinar. So in the speech of both of them, they have given a very good background of MSME sectors. The MSME sector plays a very vital role. So from the statistic I was just looking at, and what Ravindra Nath was telling, it's almost 99% of the sector is covered by micro enterprises. That's the fact. If you really look at the statistics that he has given. So with this a lot of importance, everyone has looked for a lot of things from the ministry. It has got so much importance that we have to many more things so that the government can increase the economic status and also bring employment, bring business to the country, and overall economic development of the nations. So, but unfortunately, we had everything was set for our momentum. Then we had a COVID pandemic. Not only for India, it's for entire globe, as brought here, and put on a hold all those activities and business. Everything was put on the hold. So, but during the COVID pandemic, the lockdown period, a lot of things have happened. The ministry has not put on hold anything. So we were very active and very active. Yes, government has come out with a lot of informations and important decisions has been announced. So what I will do is I will just give a brief about what are the things that has happened and the reason for it, and then the role and the major activities of the technology centers that is being done and expected from, and what's going to happen in the future. So this is what I like to share with you, and to just give a brief note on what are the things that has happened in the recent future, recent days. The first and most important things that has happened was the definition of MSME sector has been changed. The MSME sector covers now the person who is handling a very small unit with a turnover of 1,000 rupees a day to 25 crores a year. 25 crores a year. It's not, when Ravindra Nath was mentioning about the people who are not moving from one status to another status. So this most probably will allow the people to move. Now most of the people will be covered, and they will move from one status to another status and up to 25 crores. So that's the one of the very important things that has happened. And with this, and it covers 99% of the MSME sector. Sector in the overall business of India. So it covers almost, the entire business, 95% of the business and more. And that's one of the very, very important things that has happened during the lockdown period. So the other things that followed under the leadership of the secretary, the present secretary, A.K. Sharma, IAS, and also DK, saying additional secretary and development commissioner at MSME sector. See, they come out with a one-stop portal called the Champion Portal. The Champion Portal's main objective was to promote the MSME sector to the next level, to make them as their champions. They are the global competitive enterprises which can bring a lot of important, a lot of exports and also bring import substitute items. That was the second things that has happened. And the people who are watching this webinar, kindly go through this website, the champions.gov.in. It is a one-stop, helping support portal for MSME sector. It covers the entire things. It's not only stop with this. Now this portal is being supported by the control rooms. Generally, control rooms are being used by the police people. And here we have a control room at the main control room at the ministry level. And then across the country, we have around 64 regional control rooms, which takes care of all support services, including the grievances or whatever it may be. So we can now approach the regional control rooms, all the main control rooms to get the support, various supports. Maybe it can be a financial or it can be non-financial support services. So the control rooms plays a very, very important role nowadays. It works almost 12 hours a day, like a private organizations. And even during the lockdown period, the control rooms worked 8 to 8. It's all supported by the local, the regional level field officers and also technology centers. The technology center also plays a very great role in supporting these control rooms. So this is the second important things that has happened. There are a lot of things have been added to this web portal, and it's going to be a one-stop. You can just get into it and get all the things solved. And the second, the third one that has been given importance is import substitute to bring self-reliance India. So import substitute items have been identified, and it has been entrusted to all the field level officers, particularly the technology center has been asked to give a very major contributions. They have been given a target of identifying many import substitute items, and then bring out a product design and development so that we avoid imports and we can bring exports in the way of getting a good products and designs. So before the countdown, most probably we have witnessed a lot of Chinese products across India. Now you can see the very, very few products are there. The main reason of this is the China is good in a product design. So they come out with a lot of products, even a small inventions. And whatever the product you take, even the festival time, we used to have their LED bulbs put across our houses. So this was the trend. This is the important one from China. So now we don't have this. So many products. Now there is a trend that we should give a more thrust to develop those type of items within our country so that imports can be avoided. So the technology centers have been given a mandate to come out with the import substitute items and develop and then pass on to MSME sectors so that they can take advantage. That's another important thing that has been happened during the counter period. And again, there is a major thrust for export of items that are already existing and a new export items. So export promotion facilitation councils have been established across the country in the field level offices, and particularly the technology centers, which was the loop, and only looking at the product and product designs, now being asked to look into the exports facilitation centers. So through that, identify the export items and then give a facilitations so that MSME sector can go further and then increase their exports and bring economic development to the countries. So these are some of the very, very important thrust areas that are being given to the technology centers nowadays. So apart from this, the major area is the skilling. See, now skilling is, as the Ravindra ji has rightly said, there are a lot of developments are happening across the globe, particularly for these artificial intelligence, the new technologies, robotics, and then big data, and then Internet of Things. We heard a lot of things, and it's all coming very fast to our country. And suppose if we don't get into those things, then we may left behind, and and others, the small developing countries like even Bangladesh and Taiwan, and then other countries, Vietnam, those countries can take advantage of this. We are not able to do it. So to bring the advantages to the country, because we have a very strong pool of technologies, particularly IT sector is very strong in India. So we have, we supply the skilled manpower across the globe on your IT sector, but we are not able to take the latest technology, which is more of involvement of IT people, particularly the artificial intelligence, big data, cloud computing, IoT, etc. So to bring this, and the government has now under the leadership of our secretary, now has come out with the task forces. There have been 5 task forces. This is one of the very major activities that has come recent time. So 5 major task forces have been developed. One task force is for only to promote and make India a global leader in Industry 4.0. So fortunately, I am being one of the members in the group. We are working out how to promote the Industry 4.0 across the MSME sector, and work out the action plan for coming years so that India can take a lead in implementing or bringing Industry 4.0, and we can be a leader to the world. So this is another important development that's happening. This is one area of the task force. There are other areas also there, and how to revamp all the existing schemes and bring it is a more visible, more beneficial to the MSME sector. That's the another objective of the task forces being set up. So with this, I also take opportunity to share some of the things that's happening in the particularly the Industry 4.0 group, and the technology centers have been given a very major role in implementing this. It's going to have it showcase some of the technologies that can be spread across or implemented across the MSME sector. So that's one thing. Then the skill requirement for this sector is a very, very complicated, complex. So it's not a single technology that's available here. So we have to have multiple technologies are involved. So we have to come out with those the special programs wherein we can train our people, and it will not impact on the existing workforce. So one is training the new skills, another is upgrading the skills. This is another major area that the technology centers are going to play. And then it's going to be implemented across India with the help of a cluster approach. Now already the ministry has got a cluster development program, and there is one more very, very important program, grassroots cluster development program. It's called Puti. So under this 2 cluster development program, maybe we can expect some more changes in these schemes because of this task force. And through these schemes, this Industry 4.0 will be implemented across MSME sector. So that's another new developments that's going to come. And skilling is going to play a very, very important role for technology centers. That's what we expect. And technology centers have been asked to identify, the technology areas and also spread across the MSME sector. That's one thing. Then skilling is another one. The third one, get involved in almost all schemes to bring import substitute items and also help and support exports. These are going to be some of the major areas for technology centers. As rightly said, the technology centers, the 18 technology centers are established already, and 15 in the different stages of implementations. And again, there's going to be 100 new centers, and it is the extension centers with the mother technology centers of 20. So 20 more sophisticated centers and another 100 extension centers are going to be established. All those centers now is look for all these latest technologies. So it's not going to have the old technologies. It depends on the cluster requirements or the industry MSME requirements. The external centers are going to be located, and the state government will have a major role to play. That's what Ravindra Nath was asking, how the centers, state government is going to play. The center will support with the land and building, just to start with, and then the government of India is likely to support the other infrastructures required for. When they identify the infrastructure, it's going to be the up-to-date technology, keeping in mind of Industry 4.0 and other technology needs of the clusters. And skill development is going to be another major area for this. So the idea behind this is to bring a lot of products, innovative ideas. For China, if you take it, they are there in each and every products. They bring out a lot of small innovations, and you can find a lot of items across the globe. Those similar situations we wanted to create. That's the idea of the ministry, so that all imports item, even a small items are imported. So for example, as I already mentioned, the LED serial lights, these are imported. These are very simple items which can be developed here itself, but we depend on the imports because of a small cost difference. If you develop here, then most probably we can compete with the imports. So that's the idea. Now these are the major areas that the technology center is planning to have interventions and support the MSME sector. So one more information I like to give it to the audience is, now as per the new guidelines of the latest definitions, all the MSME sectors have been allowed to switch over to the new registrations up to March 2021. So afterwards, then the existing registration will be a piece of paper, will not be valid. If you like to have some support from the government, then you will need to have the new registrations. The new registration is a separate portal which is linked to the champion portal again. So the portal is udyamregistration.gov.in. So I request to spread the news. So and also take all those the MSME sector who are listening to this may take advantage of it. Is a very simple registrations. It's a one-page registration, so you don't need to upload any documents. So go to the portal and then give some information, and whatever available you can give, and then take a registration. That's the very simple registrations. And this has to be done before. Again, I will give the deadlines, March 2021, is because the governments so aggressively promoting the registrations, because so far, as the statistics goes, we have not reached even the half of the registrations done. So to bring more and more registrations and kindly take this advantage and spread the news so that the MSMEs can take advantage of the registrations. So these are some of the very, very important things where MSME technologies are getting involved. There are many other developments that have taken place, and the schemes are being looked into, reviewed, and most probably we come out with a lot of other benefits and simplicity, so that you will not find any difficulties in getting advantages. And one more area that is being looked into is promoting innovations. So the scheme of innovations, the promoting entrepreneurs through innovation is becoming very active. And recently we had selected some of the products, ideas out of most probably 3,000 ideas that is received by the ministry. And the first phase, they come out with around 150 ideas have been selected and have been encouraged through colleges. That's the another one big, boost to the students, because Sharma Saab was telling about the services of the institutes. So the educational system also now being improved, and we have a very close rapport with educational institutions. Some of the schemes are exclusively made for educational institutions. So this scheme, the business incubator scheme, is operated through colleges. It is operated through colleges, and the colleges can become host institutions, and host institutions can collect the project ideas from the students and the faculty members and then forward to the ministry, and they can get a fund up to 15 lakh rupees just to make a prototype. And the scheme was revamped to include the business support also. Suppose someone wants to, they got selected, and they got a grant, and they want to bring to the market, and they can get funding for seed capital to the extent of 15%, and then they can also establish a business incubation center at the investment of the capital investment of 1 crore rupees. It can, ministry can support. So these are some of the latest things for colleges. All colleges can get involved. I request, because there is a lot of people are watching this from the colleges. I request them to look into the scheme, particularly the faculties. They can take advantage of these schemes. It's all done through portal. Just go to our portal and submit your proposals and ideas. So the ideas and proposals are evaluated now and then the supports are extended to the colleges. So this is another one of the important schemes. It's also now operated through technology centers. We have been asked to promote the schemes. We have been asked to get tie up with all these the professional institutions, renowned professional institutions like IIT and IIM, and then the government laboratory, research laboratories, to promote all new innovations. So we look forward all the colleges and also the MSME sector to take advantage of these schemes, and then let us all join together, bring the development in the MSME sector, so that the economy of the countries can be developed. So with this, I think I'll just keep open for discussions. Maybe if someone wants to ask some questions, I can answer it. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Over to you.
Thank you very much, Mr. PanneerSelvam. It listening to you, revives my memories when I was actively working with NSIC and was a member of the Ministry of MSME. But
Yes.
then MSME is something which I breathe, I live every day. And listening to you and the initiatives taken, it reminds me that what our Honorable Prime Minister thinks of ease of doing business, where with his initiatives, things have evolved in such a manner that India has reached a level of 63 in terms of each ease of doing business from almost 140 plus in 2014. This thought and this vision has been translated even in our Ministry of MSME by the present secretary when he talks about making the registration process very simple, when he talks about a champion portal, when he talks about engaging with the youth of the country in various manners, and bringing some thought evoking and practical leaders like you to the main front to give your ideas so that the whole process can be simplified. And what better would be the solutions than the conjunction between the educational institutions in a country where we have a huge, huge number of the youth. And it is being said that by 2027, we would be perhaps the youngest country in the world in terms of age, while China, USA, and certain other countries, even Japan, would be having a much older population. I've very often heard the Honorable Prime Minister say that India could be a hub for exporting the trained manpower to other countries who would be needing all that. But today, the paradox in our country is we have a huge unemployment. On the other hand, we have a huge industry saying there is no trained manpower. I'm sure these interventions, like the one you mentioned, and especially the role of the tool rooms and the technology centers, are going to address this gap also. I was reading a report of McKinsey where it said that almost 800 million people in 42 countries would be out of job because of Industry 4 coming in. But with what you suggested, I'm sure at least India can be safe by taking these measures which you suggested. And the Indian youth should not be in a state of fear, in a state of panic. Pandemic has given us enough fear and panic already that Industry 4 is going to create more difficult times for us. And especially when you have all these centers coming in with IoTs, it should not be like IPL, the third umpire saying that you are out. We would be in and we would be playing very effectively and meeting everything on the front foot, if I may talk in terms of the IPL language. That is what is going to strengthen our country. And the conjunction between the industry on one side and the academia on the other side, as has been tried and tested by certain areas, the invite which you gave to the various academic institutions engaged with our chamber will definitely go an extra mile in empowering the students of these colleges, these educational institutions, in getting the hand-holding done. You see, the colleges, as you would appreciate, Mr. PanneerSelvam, the colleges do the best when it comes to the theoretical parts of those chapters. But without the practical hands-on training on the machines, every student is as raw as that apple hanging on a tree till the time it ripens up, with facing the vagaries of nature and everything which comes. And it is the time and the due process of ripening which is there. The ripening of a student would not be complete without he or she working on those machines, which are very, very relevant. And with the coming up of all these centers, 33 already in the process of getting completed, 18 already done, 153 more coming in, I'm sure it is going to be music to the ears of not only the industry on one side, is also going to be equally melodious to the ears of the educational institutions, because they would be opening the doors for their students to come and get trained and be prepared for the time to come. I'm sure the new technologies in terms of digitalization, in terms of zero effect, zero defect, innovative banking, energy efficiency production are all areas which have been improving the future of our manufacturing sector. While services sector has been very strong in contributing to the GDP of a country, the manufacturing also needs to be strengthened in a much bigger way. How long can we face the ignominy that our Ganeshas, our Diwali lights will continue to come from China? The everything, I believe, has a silver lining. This pandemic also has given a silver lining while it has taken the life out of people by the fear which it invoked. And the silver lining is that things can be made by the Indian MSMEs. We can close the doors on the foreign companies if they try to kill our industry in a manner. Sir, you would agree that it was the MSMEs, the micro units, who contributed in a very big way when it came to the PPE kits, when it came to the face masks, and various other things which were needed in the times of this pandemic. And the decisions taken by the Honorable Prime Minister and the cabinet that we should be doing things. Let us make noise for vocal and local. Let us be more vocal for local, and let us make our country Atmanirbhar in the process. These are not mere slogans, I would say. These are the visions for our country. And when they get embedded with the thought of make in India and made in India, it would make India definitely a manufacturing hub. The word hub and the word manufacturing could have been a mere fairy tale unless we have things on ground. And things on ground cannot be complete without the technology inputs, which the Ministry of MSME through these technology centers are going to do it. If India can send satellites in orbit, not only for its own purpose, but also for various foreign countries, it shows that we are ripe to do all these jobs. If India is the fourth biggest automobile producer in the world, and it has the biggest names in the automobile sector coming to India and set base over here, if it is that in times of pandemic that the companies who want to get out of China want to set base in India, it's all because that they have the qualified manpower, they have the proper skill sets with them, and they have the proper environment where the technologies are available. And it is because of this. And I was referring to one of these reports. I read, sir, Indian MSME Impact Report 2019. It's a report based on a 6-month analysis of the MSME sector by fintech company InstaMojo. They went around 400 entrepreneurs, and their survey findings inter alia included around 75% of the MSME respondents believe that technology helps solve many of the challenges they face. The report says that adding that small enterprises leverage online information, logistics, and email applications, social media, task management solutions, and also train employees on technology. And also that 50% of the MSMEs have adopted digital tools for business processes, payments, and online sales in India. The pandemic has also ensured that technology need not be left to the manufacturing, what you call the paraphernalia which we used to have, but technology also plays a very big role when it comes to getting your products at your doorstep. The e-commerce, the Amazons, the Flipkarts, and several Indian e-commerce companies are using all technology and the trained manpower in technology to get us everything on our doorstep so that we save ourselves from the pandemic. And the report also states that around 9.2 million MSMEs registered under GST could be a potential market for advanced offerings from fintech companies. These advanced offerings could include business analytical tools. So it's a complete process by which, and when you already have schemes for the clusters to be developed, that I believe would be the biggest challenge we can push to China, because they all believe in massive manufacturing, massive production, mass production, as they say. We have everything in our country, and it is only that we needed a vision to take it forward. And I believe these concepts of tool rooms, the investments which are being made, the conjunction of the central government and the state governments, and all these stakeholders coming together would definitely be a big milestone and a big step forward in achieving the dream of our Honorable Prime Minister, the Atmanirbhar Bharat. Sir, I definitely thank you for giving us such an enriching time of yours and such enriching ideas, which would definitely do a world of good to all these academic institutions who are associated with a chamber, all these MSMEs who are connected with us, because our Dr. Gulshan Sharma, in these 260 odd programs which he has done, there have been a wide variety of SMEs who have been joined with us in diverse sectors. They have all come together, they have all shared their experiences, but I'm sure your lecture today would be an icing on cake for them. So thank you very much, sir, for sparing your time, and we look forward to more enlightening experiences being shared by you in the days to come. And I wish you all the best. And I'm sure the task force where you are in would be the one which will be giving the most practical and the best of ideas to our respected secretary, Mr. Sharma. So with these words, sir, I would like to hand over to you, Dr. Gulshan Sharma, for giving us this opportunity that we could bring in Mr. PanneerSelvam ji to share his wide experience and his expertise with the technology centers which he is in charge of. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you. Thank you very much, PanneerSelvam ji. Thank you very much, Ravindra Nath ji. And thank you very much, our wonderful global audience. Sometimes you must be wondering when they are talking, what am I doing and what is going on over here? I got to handle the social media world over with everybody, because nowadays digital technology, people are with us on the YouTube also, they're on the Facebook also, they're on the Instagram also, they're on the LinkedIn also, and there are about 16 other social media tools, what exactly we are using simultaneously. People were asking a lot of questions, people were asking a lot of things. And finally, there are various forums of the principals of the institutions. They are very keen to understand. And if before we sum up this particular program, if a little bit insight you can give in a capsule form, PanneerSelvam ji, that what are the steps which principal has to take from a college of the incubation center, and what exactly, I mean, just steps, there are 4 steps or 5 steps, okay. Initially go on this portal, fill this form, thereafter do this, thereafter do this. So if you can give in 4 or 5, because some of the people, those are joining from different places, some of them are very good at English language, with due respect, some of them are not that good, क्योंकि कुछ हिंदी स्पीकिंग बेल्ट के भी हैं, तो हमें सबको साथ लेके चलना है, वो सबका साथ सबका विकास जो है वो यहीं पर ही है एमएसएमई में. तो थोड़ा सा अगर आप 4-5 स्टेप बता दें कि किसी भी कॉलेज के प्रिंसिपल को, और हिंदी में हो तो बहुत अच्छा है, नहीं तो अंग्रेजी में भी चलेगा, आप सिर्फ ये बता दीजिए कि किसी भी कॉलेज के प्रिंसिपल को एमएसएमई के साथ जुड़ने के लिए अपने बच्चों के लिए क्या करना.
Thank you, sir. See, first step, they have to visit our portal. I told it is a champion portal. There is a link for DC MSME schemes. If they browse for DC MSME incubation schemes, they can get a link in the Google. That is the first step, maybe. So then go to the scheme, and down the line, and they can find the click here for details, or the portal. In the portal, they have to upload the details as per the informations they get from the scheme. The scheme gives all the descriptions. So go through the schemes and then go to the portal, upload all the informations. Once you upload the informations, then you will be recognized as a host institutions. So getting host institution is the first step. And then once you recognized, then you are eligible to submit your project ideas. The project ideas can be from the students' projects or it can be from faculties. So they can submit the projects. Generally, one institution का 10 project तक कर सकता है. See, first getting a host institution is the first step. The second step, they can forward up to 10 through the portal, 10 ideas. Once the ideas are accepted, they will be given a grant. So what are the things they should have? All those details are there. Mostly it is one separate account for incubations, separate income tax registration. These are two mandates required. So they will ask you to produce the income tax number. Maybe I think it can be a common, but separate account is the must in the name of incubation center. So they want to monitor how the fund is spent or transferred from one source to another source. So that's the yes, sir.
Mr. PanneerSelvam, I'll just like to request you, if you are ever doing a webinar,
yes,
which is on incubation or any such thing,
yes,
if you can send us the link for that, we will spread it to our all these academic institutions, so that their principals or those faculties who are looking after these areas can join with you, and they get enriched from that complete session which you would be doing on such a thing.
Yeah. Otherwise, I have one more suggestion. Maybe we can have a separate webinar for them.
Yes.
For all the schemes that is handled by MSME Ministry for promoting entrepreneurships through colleges.
Wonderful, sir.
We can have a separate. Maybe
totally.
That will cover all the schemes. See, I have given just one scheme.
Yes.
There are other schemes. So there is one more scheme called ESDP, and one is a design clinic. Another one is a design clinic. All those things can be explained in details because you are covered in your speech. I did not touch upon that.
So what I request is, sir, we will maybe on another Sunday, we'll do it exclusively the MSME schemes which are related with educational institutions.
Yes, exactly. That's what I suggest. So that you can have a clear idea.
Yes.
We can have a presentation also.
Totally as per your convenience, we will do this program.
Yes.
And
excellent.
As he had been very kind to mention, if we have the PPT, if we have the visual, people will be able to assimilate much better.
Absolutely.
Yes, able to relate, and simultaneously they can go through. And that way we can invite especially the principals, and we can invite the directors, we can invite all of them together.
Yes.
On our guest convenience. Let's have one of the evening dedicated where we go practical, because this will yield the results immediately.
Very much.
The results immediately, because I'm getting lots of requests. Which people are writing to me that, I would say a lot of people are asking, lots of people. They are very keen. And people, those are already colleges which are with the Ministry of Skill Development.
And yes, one more suggestion what I can make is they can get in touch with us. See, I have maybe I am fairly good in my LinkedIn connections network. So PanneerSelvam Ramaswamy is my LinkedIn name. They can put all the details. We can support them. There is no problem.
Wonderful.
And if they still find it to be very official, particular to be official, then they can visit our website ppdcagra.dcmsme.gov.in. It is a very big URL, but it is a PPDC Agra. If you get, the URL will come. So they can find all the contact details. My contact email and phone numbers are there. They can get in touch with us so that we can guide completely. Because we have a coordinator, I will link them to the coordinator. Coordinator can take them all these steps.
And even, Dr. one more thing can be done. I'm sure this pandemic is not going to be a permanent feature and very soon it will be thrown out of the universe. When times improve, as I was saying earlier, it is when the students begin to see the machines practically and get an exposure on them. So, Mr. PanneerSelvam ji, if you can also help the visits of these college students to your campus.
Yes, definitely.
That would also give them an exposure, because this is one thing which I used to do when I was with NSIC. We used to allow the students from the colleges to come. The colleges used to bring their students. We used to have a one-day EDP program with them, give them an exposure. And also, I'm sure you would be running certain courses where the college students or to-be graduate students, or even those who do not want to study further, who are school walkouts, they can come and get practical exposure on the machines which you have in your wonderful center in Agra.
Yeah, exactly. See, no colleges, private colleges has got such a facilities.
Absolutely.
It is 100% sure. So the visit could be the best thing. They can get in touch with us. We can put it to the latest tool room also, where you can find the state-of-art technologies. Absolutely. Or Industry 4.0. So the technologies that we are going to showcase also, we can have exposure.
And
so the visit could be the good idea, and definitely we will support. They can send me an email, and my contact details are there in the website, so they can get in touch with us. Definitely we will support any number of colleges. That's one thing. The second one is the facilities are such a latest technology facilities. Definitely they will not have a exposure, so they can get trained under our facilities. Yes. During these summer vacations, maybe internship, short-term internships. So we can support if it is organized through the International Chamber of Service Industry. So we will take them. Wonderful. And mostly we don't charge much. It is only just to ensure a nominal charges 100 rupees, 50 rupees, something like that, just to ensure the commitment. They come, the registration is valid. So they can come and take.
I will just like to add on this, Mr. PanneerSelvam, to Dr. Gulshan Sharma.
Yes.
Dr. Today, Mr. PanneerSelvam is not only the in charge of Agra, he also is holding the charge of Indore. So basically, there are two centers on which he promises us to allow students referred by ICSI to be availing those facilities and getting an exposure of the technologies which are there. Yes. And I'm sure, with the help of Mr. PanneerSelvam, this thing can be spread far and wide the entire country, and such a strong relationship can be built between the academia and the Ministry of MSME through its various technology centers, that it is going to be something of great help in bringing our students on par when it comes to the skilling factors. It would not be a situation where we say that the Indian students or the Indian workforce has exposure, only 3% of them have an exposure on what you call vocational trainings or such trainings, whereas South Korea has something around 96% and all that. I'm sure, sir, with your support and with your interventions and the new initiatives of the technology centers, this percentage of 3 is definitely going to jump beyond 50 very soon. And the conjunction which we will be building through our Chamber of ICSI and the Ministry of MSME is going to play a very, very important part in this radical change in the percentage which we presently have.
Sir, I just wish to mention that most of the principals from the different places across entire India, including a lot of people from Arunachal Pradesh, Manipur, Punjab, and then I have got people from Madhya Pradesh. They all are appreciating the idea that PanneerSelvam ji bringing a small PPT and sharing the entire process once with the principals. They all will be educated in the real terms, and they all will get the complete idea how to go by, because I hope there is no investment required from the colleges side initially. They are asking the question. There is no investment required from the colleges side initially?
No investment required.
Okay.
No
Sir,
investment is required.
Are you talking about the government?
See, even the people across the country, they can visit. We have hostel facilities. Once this lockdown, COVID, the problems are over. Maybe they are welcome.
No.
And we can organize most of the
Mr.
things.
PanneerSelvam, what the question was, the
Incubation
investment
center.
for setting up an incubation center.
No, not required.
Sir,
not required. I understand. Not required. No investment is required.
Sir, Dr. Sharma, what I suggest is, instead of answering these in a very quick and fast manner, let a proper PPT be there, which will be clarifying each and every doubt.
Great.
And I'm sure Mr. PanneerSelvam will be able to do it.
Yes.
And would put at rest all questions which will be there.
Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. So thank you very much. It was indeed a great pleasur to have PanneerSelvam ji this evening. Of course, the kind courtesy, it is under the chairmanship of Ravindra Nath ji. He is the one who is bringing this entire oxygen, energy, synergy, creativity, and collaboration, whatever is moving forward. He is very, very innovative. And sometimes when I look at him, I always say that he dreams MSME, he sleeps MSME, he gets up MSME, he thinks MSME, and all the time. And today he has done another curtain raiser. What is micro attention required in a micro way on the micro segment of the system and economy? So thank you very much. It was a pleasure to have, and thanks for joining us. Very kind of you, and look forward to having you with us soon back with a wonderful PPT so that everybody can assimilate.
Yeah, sure.
Thank you.
No,
Thank you.
Thank you,
Wonderful.
sir.